Good evening, guys. I want to thank Mel over at Mel's Weight Loss Journey for inviting me to do this collab with her and a bunch of other wonderful ladies. Be sure to check them all out down in the description box because this is going to be a really cool collab. It is called How to Stay on Track for the Holidays, and let's get started.
I've been looking for a mirror and I think I found.
Okay. When I first started my journey back, oh gosh, 2 years ago now, just about, I always did several different things to stay on track while I was visiting my family, because I did visit a lot of family many times during my weight loss journey. And I always wanted to be sure that I stayed on track, especially when I first started. I was losing weight every single week and I wanted to stay on track. I wanted to be good. I wanted to stick to my plan, what I planned out to do, and I just needed to just stay on track for the whole entire time I was there. And I did wonderful. When you're first starting this journey, you always tend to stay on track. Isn't that what you find when you first start your journey? You want to be so good. That's how I was in the first 6 months of my journey. And then I started to slough off a little bit here and there, but I was still losing pretty consistently. And now the last couple months, I haven't been losing much at all, but that's my own fault. I'm going to share with you some plans that I did when I was first started on this journey, and it worked out really well. The first thing I always did, guys, was plan. I pre-planned my day. What you can do also, and what I did too, is when I go to family members' house and even people that I know pretty well, I will actually literally call them up and say, hey, how was your dinner made, or whatever we're going to eat? How was that made? And can you tell me the brand that you used of it? And I will look all that stuff up myself. And a lot of times they'll walk me through their entire recipe and I'll figure out the points for it. And then I know what I can eat and what I can't eat. That's one thing that you can do. And I know sometimes you don't really want to be bothered with that, and that's okay. Another thing you can do is take a couple dishes to pass with you. I always took like a veggie and fruit tray, and let me tell you, those went really fast. So I always made sure I took a large enough amount that if there was leftovers, I could just take it home and eat it, because I ate a lot of fruit and veggies back then. So I just took it home with me and ate it at home. It didn't go to waste. I always just took it home. I also always brought a dessert with me. There is so many wonderful desserts out there that you can make that are Weight Watcher friendly, like crustless pumpkin pie. I have not tried that, but I really want to. And I make a lot of yogurt type desserts all the time. I have many cook with me's on that too. And you can find so many cook with me's out there to be able to make a low point dessert and maybe bring one to share too. You know, like make a no-bake cheesecake. It's delicious. I made a cook with me on one of those. It was delicious. We ate it all week long. It's just made out of yogurt. So you can bring that along, and then you won't feel like you're being deprived. Another thing too is plan your day around lower point items during the beginning of the day. If you're gonna have a dinner out, make sure you have a low point breakfast and lunch, and then that way you have all of your points to use on dinner. Plus you can use your weeklies as well. That's a lot of points to use in a day. So you can definitely splurge on these days and just figure it out. Just pre-plan and make sure you plan everything that you're gonna eat. There is a paper plate, printable, out there. It's just a plate, and it shows you the amounts of everything, like turkey dinner, like turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, you know, that kind of thing. And you can portion out your plate, pick the items that you really enjoy. If you decide that you like mashed potatoes over sweet potatoes, just choose one of them. Don't choose both of them, just choose one. Maybe skip the gravy and have cottage cheese on it. That's what I always like to do. I love cottage cheese on my potatoes. Any potatoes, I will eat cottage cheese on it. It's really good. And it's lower points than gravy by far. By far, depending on how people make their gravy too. If you get like a jarred gravy, I'm sure it's much easier to figure out the points than if you use like the turkey drippings. So that's another option too. Maybe see if they're using canned gravies and just have just one little serving. A half a cup is a serving of pretty much everything you're going to eat at Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner. half a cup is usually a serving. So figure out that. If you don't want to bring a half a cup measuring cup, you can kind of eyeball a half a cup, right? I mean, it's pretty simple to eyeball a half a cup. So just portion out half cup servings of everything that you really enjoy, and have one item that you just say, okay, I have to have this because I only get it once a year. Let's splurge on it. Do that. I mean, don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel bad about it. Just decide, tell yourself you're going to do it, and instead of leaping off that wagon, step off of it. I got that from my leader at the Weight Watchers meeting. I know it's not called that, but that's what I'm going to always call it, I'm sure. Don't jump off that wagon. Just step off of it. Step off of it for that meal, and then get right back on it when you're done with that meal. Portion control, though, is a big step to a Thanksgiving or a Christmas dinner. You gotta do portion sizes. You really do. It's pretty much true for every meal, every day of your life, right? Just be aware of the portion control that you're taking, and just take a smaller plate maybe and fill up the smaller plate, and then just say you're done for the day, and then just have your dessert. If you want to really enjoy that dessert, do it. Don't feel guilty about it. Just do it. Once you make up your plan, be sure you stick with it. If you already have it in your mind that you want to do well, that you want to stay on plan, then do that. Stay on plan, stick to your plan, and then you'll feel so much better about yourself when the night is over. If you plan on indulging, then do that. Just indulge. And then, hey, if something comes up and you say, no, I don't really even feel like I want to indulge today, I'm going to really be good today. And then you'll just be so proud. You'll be just that much more proud of yourself. If you state a plan and you don't plan on it, that's one of the bonuses that your mindset's really changing around, and you are really succeeding at what you're doing. Another thing I always did, and I always did this, I never told anybody, I ate before I went. I ate something small, maybe a half a cup of cottage cheese. I would drink a Premier Protein beforehand or on the way there, and that would really help. It would really help me not just look at all of these sweets sitting on this table and say, oh my gosh, I gotta have this. Another thing, while you're at your party or you're sitting down to the table, when somebody asks you, what would you like to drink? What should be your first choice? My choice was always water. I would drink water constantly while I was eating, and that would help to fill me up faster. If you want to have like a cocktail or something, have that as well, but have water on the side and just keep drinking that water. Keep pumping that water down. If you need an enhancer in your water, bring it along with you. Stick it in your purse, because you don't want to be without your water. Another thing you can think of it this way. When you're having that meal, the items that you're having, which items are ones that you don't normally get in a day, in a week, in a month? Let's say mashed potatoes. You can make mashed potatoes any day. Your grandma's pie, not so much. You probably only get that during the holidays. So choose that. Use your points on that versus mashed potatoes and gravy, buns. You can make those anytime if you really want them. Save those points for dessert, for that special stuffing that only is made at Thanksgiving. You know, use your points wisely for those items instead of using them for mashed potatoes and gravy and sweet potatoes, things that you can have pretty much any time that you want to. Another thing you can think about is why you're there. Why are you there with all of these wonderful people? Why are you getting together with your family today? When you're getting together, you have to make the focus each other versus the food. Where before, when we were heavier, I always remembered that food was our focus. We would really indulge on the food and look forward to the food. It's like, oh, what are you bringing? Or what are you bringing? That's all changed for me now. Now I call them and say, who's all going to be there? What are we going to do when we're there? So we will play games. We will give gifts. Just don't make the focus the food. Make it the people instead. Figure out what you can do as a group of people. Maybe you can start a new tradition instead of food, eating food. Start a new tradition. There's so many fun games on YouTube that you can find as a family. If you Google family games, you'll find all sorts of fun things. So maybe do that this year. Google family games that you can play at the holidays and see what you can come up with. There's some hilarious games out there. The last thing I have for you, if you do goof up, if you plan on being good and you go to this party and you just feel like you ate everything in sight and maybe you ate 300 points worth of food, don't beat yourself up. Move on. Say, it's okay. I goofed up. I screwed up. Get right back on track the next meal. Don't wait till the next day. Don't wait till the next week. Do it the next meal. So if you have a big dinner and dessert and all of that, right away the next morning for breakfast, get back on track. Get right back on your plan. Don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. It happens to all of us. It really does. It happens to all of us. What we need to do is just remember that we're human. We're human and we're going to make big mistakes sometimes really big mistakes. Be kind to yourself. That is all I have for you tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped somebody. I am so excited to see everybody else's collabs because there's so many ideas out there. I'm sure all of us will come up with a few different things that you can use during your holiday meal. All you got to do is remember to love yourself, take care of yourself, don't overindulge too much, but be sure to enjoy that holiday. If you feel like you really want to indulge, go and do it. Just do it. Suck it up and do it. Get right back on track though. Get right back on track. If you plan on going and staying on your plan, good for you. And if you goof, it's okay. Remember, it is okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to share this with anybody who you think will enjoy this channel. Thanks, Mel, for inviting me too. Be sure to check out all the lovely ladies down below for their ideas on how to stay on track during the holidays. And I will talk to you guys next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
I've been looking for a mirror, and I think I found